Hello, my name is Lisa Auer, and I have an honor of being part of the GRANDcares Project team. On behalf of the entire team from Colorado State University and the University of Hawaii at Manoa, I would like to welcome you to part one of our webinar titled Grandfamilies, Trauma, and Resilience. Before we begin today, we would like to acknowledge and thank our funder, the United States Department of Agriculture, National Institute of Food and Agriculture, Children, Youth, and Families at Risk Sustainable Community Projects for their support of this webinar. Further, we want to acknowledge Ruth Wilson for her technical assistance with recording and posting this webinar. The purpose of this webinar is to recognize the existence of adverse childhood experiences, ACEs, and trauma within grandfamilies for both service providers and grandparents. Typically, the circumstances around why a child is removed from their parent's home involves the child experiencing trauma through at least one or multiple adverse childhood experiences, ACEs. The recognition of ACEs and trauma within a family allows for a better understanding of a child's risk and needs without exacerbating their experiences. Let's begin with taking a look at what are ACEs. ACEs are described as any traumatic experience in a child's life occurring before the age of 18 that is beyond a young person's control. These experiences include physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, mental illness, divorce, incarcerated family members, substance abuse, mother treated violently, physical neglect, and emotional neglect. The higher an ACE score, which is determined by how many ACEs a child has experienced, the higher their risk is for developing physical and mental health issues throughout their life course. Research shows children who are removed from their parents' home, including those being raised by their grandparents, have experienced at least one or more ACEs and trauma within their lives. Let's take a look at some of the circumstances why children are being raised by their grandparents and the direct correlation between these experiences and the 10 ACEs shown on the previous slide. Some of the events that are most associated with why grandchildren are placed in their grandparents' care are abandonment, divorce, death of a parent, drug, alcohol use and abuse, unsafe environments, neglect, incarceration, no foster care, poor mental, physical health of a parent, military, and/or deportation. The ACE study has uncovered how ACEs are strongly related to poor and mental health outcomes in childhood and throughout the lifespan. Experiencing trauma and ACEs does not have to define a child's future. By providing safe, stable, and nurturing relationship and environments, grandparents can have a positive impact on children who have experienced one or multiple ACEs. This can build resiliency. Grandparents can be the supportive caregiver for a child who needs to provide a protective environment to help children mitigate the impact of traumatic and adverse experiences. As service providers and caregivers, the acknowledgement of the impact of trauma and ACEs and how common it is within grandfamilies is a first step we can take in providing meaningful, strength-based services and resources for grandfamilies. Learning how to respond appropriately with a trauma-sensitive LIND is the next step. The GRANDcares Project recognizes the impact of trauma within grandfamilies and works to provide a safe and stable environment for these children by empowering grandparents through education of self-care to help reduce stress, build effective communication skills, reduce guilt and anger, and strengthen family resiliency. The GRANDcares Project also incorporates a 6-week club for children being raised by their grandparents, which provides a safe environment to help youth become leaders, learn about themselves, and build social connectedness with other children being raised by their grandparents. Please join us for part 2 of our webinar titled Grandfamilies, Trauma, and Resiliency, where we will discuss how providing positive childhood experiences can build resiliency for children being raised by their grandparents. We will look at the health outcomes of positive experiences HOPE framework that promotes positive child and family well-being. This concludes our webinar, and we hope that you join us for upcoming and past webinars discussing topics such as microaggression and grandfamilies, working with the middle generation, action planning with grandparents, and strength-based approaches to working with grandfamilies. Further, if you have any questions about the material discussed in this webinar, please contact me, Lisa Auer, via email at aurlm@larimer.org. Or if you are interested in learning more about the GRANDcares Project and possibly bringing it to your community, please visit our website at grandcares.colostate.edu to find out more information. Finally, in an effort to assist us in further planning, please complete the following short survey. Thank you from the GRANDcares team.